5 days after I think she was last seen, she was found in the water tank of the hotel.
In the water tank?
In the water tank, jammed in the water tank. And the weirdest part is that it's super hard to jam a person into those water tanks because there's not much room to fit them in there. And the only reason that she was eventually found in there is because guests were complaining of weird tasting water. So her blood was seeping through the hotel water supply and tainting the water.
No.
Do you guys see my new beard, by the way?
Yeah.
He's trying
Yes,
to...
sir.
All right, welcome back to the Deep Dive podcast, where we dive deep into extremely controversial subjects and interview some pretty amazing people. Thank you for listening or watching, whichever one you're doing. If you find us inspiring, go try subscribing. How are we doing today, boys? Doing good?
Great.
Excited for this episode.
Yes,
We got
sir.
Neil on here, one a good friend of ours. Millen, I believe, is out of town, so...
Millen is in Indiana at the cousin's wedding.
Here,
I'm Dabo for today.
Huh? Oh yeah. Okay. So we've got some.
We're replacing one minority with another. So
Yeah, we've got some crazy conspiracy theories today. We've researched a bunch. George has got some crime stuff. Neil's got some, like the some of the famous ones, and then I dove a little bit deeper. Get it? The deep dive.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as always, if you want to watch us along with hearing us, you can look at us on YouTube where we have live video. Shout out to the cameraman today. We got two of our boys back here. And then you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, basically anywhere else. All right. We're going to get right into this. We have no segments at the beginning for this one, just because we got a lot to break down. We brought a couple conspiracies each today, and we're going to rotate. Trying to convince the other guys if they're somewhat believable or not. So I'll go ahead and kick it off if you guys don't mind. I researched some pretty interesting ones, and I think they're pretty convincing. So I'm gonna start it off with the Roswell, New Mexico crash of 1947, and this is like alien stuff, I guess.
Okay.
So little bit weird, but basically there is this unidentified object that crashed into this farmer's land, and he couldn't really describe what it was made of for a while. And then a month later, he brought it to the sheriff of the town, some pieces or whatever. And then the sheriff brought it to the military leader. Colonel Marcel was his name. Mm-hmm. And Marcel was actually so surprised himself that he told the newspaper it was a flying saucer. And this was the colonel guy. Okay. So that proved that the government wasn't behind it, because he would have known, or he would have went and picked it up, because it was a month after it crashed. So whatever it was. So then the next day, William Blancard, don't know who he is, but he issued a press release and said it was a flying saucer. But then the next day he issued another press release, and he said most people believe he was forced to say that it was a weather balloon.
Okay.
So basically the thing is that the weather balloon is so much smaller than what the guy described the whole crash to be. What do you guys think? Do you think it was something else, or do you think it's a weather balloon?
I mean, I don't know. He's going back on his word. If he said it's a flying saucer, now he's switching it back to weather balloon. But I don't know. I don't really have enough details of the story to actually form a solid opinion on it yet. So yeah. I'm kind of interested to hear what else there is to it. Yeah,
I've got a little bit more. What are you gonna say?
I'm a man of devil's advocate, so I like to think of the supernatural and stuff. So right, yeah. I honestly think it is, in fact, a flying saucer.
Yeah. They obviously they didn't have the detection technology back then, so they had no idea it landed, or else they would have came and picked it up or whatever it was. And I also researched what weather balloons are made out of, and actually they're not, from what the guy described. He described the unidentified object that it was kind of like rubber strips, tinfoil, really tough paper, and black sticks. And weather balloons are made of latex or synthetic rubber. Huh. So they're usually around, this says 0.051 millimeters thick, which to me doesn't seem like tough paper or thick black sticks.
Yeah.
Wait, is there no footage of this or anything? Because
I did not look at any footage. I don't think there was, but I could be wrong. I just read articles. I didn't look at footage. But
So who was talking in the press conference again?
It was a colonel. Marcel was the first guy, and then Blankard was the second guy, and both colonels are military leaders. So now they said it was a UFO, but UFO does not mean extraterrestrial. It means an unidentified object, right? So, or flying object. So most likely it's extraterrestrial, but
yeah.
I mean, you never know. So, yeah, no one claimed it to be theirs. So I don't know if nobody claims it, then it might have been not from here.
I mean, you gotta take into account he could be making this all up. But
me or who?
I mean, oh, never mind. They picked up the pieces. He showed the pieces, right?
Yeah.
Huh.
It was in the newspaper, so I did see it in the newspaper.
Huh. That's actually very believable.
I mean, the weirdest part to me is like the weird material. Like, what was the thing about human skin material or something?
It was so it was like rubber strips and really tough paper, and then black sticks. That's what he said. So I don't know.
Kind of weird.
And it didn't resemble the weather balloon materials at all.
So an average weather balloon is 6 feet, or back then it was probably 15 feet large.
Yeah.
And this guy said the where it landed was much bigger. So.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. Something like that happened 70 plus years ago. I don't know. There's not enough information and technology back then to debunk it or prove it to be true. Stuff that happens now, you see. There's CCTV footage almost everywhere. So you're people are able to debunk these theories, and I feel there's less mystery in the world now. There definitely is less mystery, but during this time, it's super up in the air. So I mean, you're never gonna be able to go back and prove it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, nowadays people can Photoshop anything.
Yeah.
And do all that stuff. So that's the main thing that makes me seem it's somewhat believable.
Yeah.
Just because it's way back then and they didn't have that capability. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, there is that part to it also, but
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if I'm bought in on it yet. I mean, it seems a little out there. I don't know. I'm not a big believe. I don't know. UFOs
seems a little out
I
there.
don't doubt that there's extra terrestrial life and stuff on other planets. I don't know about full human-sized aliens and stuff, but small creatures. But flying objects like that, no.
Not visiting our planet.
Nah, I mean, I just feel there's never those planes or whatever people think they see, those UFOs. They're not actually a UFO. I feel they're just some it's either debris in the sky or some type of object in the sky. Not I mean, or even helicopters, planes. I mean, they can be mistaken for all kinds of stuff. So
okay. Yeah. That's not my most convincing one though. Okay. So I started it off a little easy.
Okay.
We'll give Neil the floor here.
All right.
And then here, let me do this for you in just a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
Feel free to share whichever one you want.
All right. I want to get started with the Denver airport.
Okay.
I like this one.
Famous one. I don't know too much about it, but I know it's pretty famous.
Yeah. So I've been there 3 or 4 times, and
same.
I just get a very creepy feel whenever I'm there. There's random gargoyles, paintings, etc.
The horses or whatever.
Yeah. There's the Lucifer horse at the front that glows.
Yeah.
Just stuff that shouldn't really be in an airport. And so to research this, I got one of my friends, relatives, who's in the FAA at Denver Airport.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So the first thing I want to talk about is the murals around the airport. They allude to many secret societies, the end of the world and Nazism. There's a lot of Nazism.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen the runways.
Yeah. So I was about to get to that.
Are they signs or something?
No, the airport runways, from a top view.
Yeah.
They resemble a swastika.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Whoever designed that.
It's weird, yeah.
Either dumb or knew something.
Yeah. And there's also underground tunnels that supposedly have bunkers for the world's elite in an apocalypse. Yeah.
Hopefully this video doesn't get banned or something.
The government.
But that would show proof. That would show proof.
That would show proof. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you don't just like, I don't know, the runways, like,
Yeah, that's it. That's just a dead giveaway.
You don't build a plane runway to like a 90-degree angle, like with
All four, yeah.
just like that. And like people, like when they're designing that, they're like, all right, let's make sure there's nothing like wrong with these runways. They're not going to like ignore a swastika. So like,
Yeah.
little sus.
Yeah.
And then going back to Lucifer, like the horse at the front that glows at night, the person who actually made it died.
Okay.
Like while he was making it.
While he was making it.
Oh, while
he was making it.
Oh.
Yeah, so someone else had to finish for him. So that just adds another creepy extra meaning
You know
to
what
it.
he died of?
He got crushed under the horse.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That makes it even more.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crushed
Okay.
under the
Yeah.
And then
Look at that, dude. Yeah, it just...
Yeah, I pulled a picture of the horse and it's like really weird.
That's crazy.
yeah.
I don't know what the like meaning of the horse is. I don't know what it has to like in relation to Denver.
Its name
but-
is Lucifer, so
Yeah.
it's kind of weird.
But it's also blue, so... And usually, like, Lucifer...
But it has red glowing eyes.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. That's... Yeah.
And then what ties it
Or
all
it's
together,
Lucifer. Okay.
some people believe that the airport serves as the headquarters of the Illuminati or the
I've
New
heard
World
that
Order.
too, yeah.
And the murals prove it. I mean, there's a bunch of Nazism all over.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What do you guys think about it?
Yeah, it's really weird. I've never been to the Denver airport. Like I've seen all the conspiracy theory stuff. So like I don't know, it's kind of weird. But they also embrace it. Like they'll like put stuff in
Yeah,
the
they
airport
do.
saying like
Yeah, the CEO.
But they
Yeah.
that could also be reverse psychology.
yeah, I mean like
'Cause they could,
I don't know.
You know, if they make it something fun and like where people... That's one of my other ones is... Or that New Mexico thing, like they have festivals now and they have like people dress
Yeah.
up as aliens. And so when they feed into that, they make it seem like it's fake, you know?
Yeah, there you go.
yeah,
Because if they like canceled it or, you know, did something like that, it'd raise suspicion, right?
Red
So-
flags for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Huh. Yeah, I've been there a couple times and
Yeah. But why Denver?
it's
you
a
know?
little, well, I think there's something like with the geography maybe or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. There could just be, it's pretty dang popular
Yeah.
city too. You know, it's almost in the center of the U.S. too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
also looking at a picture of this horse now, it has like veins coming out of its anus on the horse. Like extremely, extremely detailed like veins.
Yeah.
And its balls just like hanging. Like
Yeah. That's, huh.
the artist, who, I mean,
Definitely disturbed.
Whoever
The artist
added,
was a little, yeah, a little different. We don't judge here.
I
But
mean, who
don't
adds
judge.
that? Weird.
Dope sculpture.
Yeah, it looks pretty big. I don't know how tall it
Dope
is.
sculpture for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean,
Huh.
I respect it.
it's
A little nice touch of detail there.
Yeah.
wait, what is it? Why is Lucifer so scary?
Yeah. It says, yeah, he was,
Luis
he was
Jimenez.
killed after an enormous section of the sculpture crushed his leg, severing an artery. So, yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
bad mojo there.
And the paint, dude, like it's so bright, and the eyes, like, that's crazy. Yeah, it's a little weird.
Just get a genuinely creepy vibe when you go there.
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
do. It's not like any other
Oh,
airport.
yeah.
When it's like a highly commercial and like
Yeah.
big airport, like
Yeah.
they
Oh,
just
yeah,
went,
it's one
they
of-
went
isn't
ahead
it-
and
It might be. Is it the biggest in the U.S.?
No, it's
No.
like second or
Or
third.
no, like Georgia or Atlanta.
yeah, Atlanta's first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
let's see. I'll look up the rankings. But
I think Atlanta's first, and then like maybe Philadelphia or somewhere.
yeah, Atlanta, L.A.,
Chicago. O'Hare. Yeah, O'Hare's.
Dallas, Fort Worth, JFK.
Oh, it's not even. It's not even. I don't know.
A
Whatever.
perfect place for some headquarters then.
Yeah.
The more inconspicuous, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
interesting.
George, you did crimes, and so
Yeah,
I know
did.
they're not like
They're not,
exactly conspiracies, but
They're pretty good.
They're pretty, yeah.
They're like unsolved mysteries and stuff like that. So
Okay.
I'll dive into a pretty good one that I have. It's like somewhat like I guess popular, but not that many people know about it. So
Okay.
this girl named Elisa Lamb, she or Lamb or Lam, I don't know, but she's a student in British Columbia, Vancouver, in Vancouver, and so she was staying at this hotel in downtown LA, and it kind of had a history of being somewhat of like a mysterious hotel. There's been some like disappearances there and stuff like that, so like it's kind of known to be haunted. But she was staying there for about a week.
Is this the
at
one
this point.
In the elevator?
That Jack, like his dad? Did you hear about that?
Jack.
Yeah. His dad went in the. Is this the elevator thing?
No, not the ghost.
Is it not the elevator?
There's some security footage on this. This one,
I've heard about
this one. Yeah, it, like honestly, like I don't really get too scared with like gore or like any of that like conspiracy stuff. But when I watch the footage on this one, like it kind of like makes me like feel like some type of way okay, it's a little sus, but makes me feel like a way that like I can't really describe, so it's like super weird. But anyways, to get back to the actual story, so she was eventually found. She went missing, and so her parents were wondering where she was at. People had seen her the day of her disappearance. She was like supposed to be super lively and stuff like that. Yeah. And then 5 days after I think she was last seen, she was found in the water tank of the hotel.
In the water tank?
In the water tank, jammed in the water tank. And the weirdest part is that it's super hard to jam a person into those water tanks because there's not much room to fit them in there. And the only reason that she was eventually found in there is because guests were complaining of weird tasting water. So her blood was seeping through the hotel water supply and tainting the water. No. So already off to a rough start. But the weirdest part, without a doubt, is you look at the security footage of this hotel on the night of her disappearance, and she's seen exiting and re-entering the elevator, and she's like talking, gesturing with the hallway outside, and it looks like she's hiding within the elevator, like turning away from the door and like concealing herself in the elevator. So it's honestly super weird because there's not any other person seen throughout this entire time. It's only
really?
her,
it's just her,
like almost fighting with herself and acting like she's scared of someone. So yeah, this footage went viral, and tons of people are saying how like unsettling it really was to them.
It really looked like she was like intoxicated or something.
Yeah, it
on some type of
some
drug.
People were saying she take medication for bipolar disorder, which was a potential like solution some people were presenting. But some people also said that the video was altered before the release, like it was tampered with by whether like the authorities or the hotel. So that further just makes it like a little more suspicious.
Yeah,
I mean that's the thing that
still
that's I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Thanks,
so where are the possible victim or
well, the thing is,
culprits?
There's still nothing. There's no one ever framed as a culprit for this. No
like
one was
nobody,
ever.
No suspects.
The guests at the hotel that were obviously drinking her blood. Essentially, they sued, and then her parents also sued, but they dismissed the case in 2015. They sued the hotel.
Okay.
But there's never. I don't believe. I could be wrong, but I don't think there's ever a full police investigation into this. Which is like shocking because I mean I don't know how this happened. So if you're, I highly suggest watching the footage. I wouldn't do it at like night because it honestly is extremely unsettling. But
you've been warned.
She was found naked in the water tanks, and her like clothes and like personal like items were found in the water floating near her. So I still don't understand it, and there's still no solution. So definitely check it out.
You want to hear my hypothesis on it?
Let's hear it. I want to hear it because I have nothing.
I feel like it was. I feel like it was a suicide. You know how drugs are unpredictable.
No, I understand.
I have heard about. Okay, I will say that someone. I think a while ago I saw that it would be humanly impossible for one person to force themselves open up that water tank and get themselves in.
Okay.
But
hotel
honestly,
staff?
Suicide is like somewhat of a probable. Like, I mean, she could have somehow found a way to get in there, but like, I don't know. And then also someone said that she was like extremely talkative and outgoing when they saw her earlier that day, which it could have been the drugs that she was on, if she was on any that took her there. But like, I'll never understand that footage, and it scares me. Like, it really scares me. It's weird, but yeah, definitely worth a look. So.
I'll look at it tomorrow, not tonight.
Yeah, don't look at it.
I'm with you on that.
We're filming this at 9 p.m., so I don't think it's not good to take a look at, but
yeah,
it's scary stuff, but I mean, It's a good case.
Just crazy how there's no like no
dude.
evidence, like nobody else around.
Yeah, that's insane.
You have to think that. I can't remember what her job was, but she was a student at the time, so like, I don't know. I really couldn't tell you what this is, and it just freaks me out so much. But
yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
No.
All right. Well, this one's not scary.
Yeah.
Scary. But Neil, I think I don't know. You were excited about this one, the Hollow Earth theory.
Yeah.
So this one, most people are like, "Oh, it's stupid," flat earthers or whatever. But I don't believe in the flat Earth thing. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, go up to space and you'll be wrong. But the Hollow Earth theory, it gets me a little bit. It's a lot of science stuff, but the concept is that the Earth's core is hollow. Like, there's nothing at the center, or if there is, it's not just a ball of heat. So, Earth's shell, like its outer thing, is around 800 miles thick, and then the polar regions, there's actually these holes in the pole, and like South Pole and North Pole, or South Pole and North Pole, and there's these holes, and they're like 1,400 miles across and deep.
Yeah,
that's just unbelievable to me. That's insane. And so it's actually it's said that somebody could look over the center and they could fall to the center of the Earth in some of these holes.
Huh.
And so, or not like the exact center,
yeah,
but close to it. And so obviously they would heat up and disintegrate before reaching it. But anyways, so some say like the center is inhabited by an advanced civilization. Or some people believe that where there's land and food.
That is cap.
That is so. That is so ridiculous.
There's no shot.
Yeah, there's no.
That'd be pretty dope though.
That'd be sick.
That's where they lose me a little bit. So that'd be insane. Yeah, but no way. But they used to believe it for centuries. Actually, they used to believe that it was hollow. And then they believed that the Earth's crust was aligned with this thing called magnetical matter, which made everything revolve around the center. And lots of science stuff. Anyways, the center of the Earth is 6,000 kilometers down from where we are standing.
Okay.
Or, about 6,000 kilometers down. And even the outermost part of the core is 3,000 kilometers down. So the crust or whatever is 3,000, and then another 3,000, and then you got the core. And the deepest hole that humans have ever made was 12.3 kilometers. So it's like nothing. And that took them 19 years to build.
Huh.
From 1970 to 1989. So the question is asked, but how do scientists know how hot like the Earth's core is? They can't see it. They can't dig down that deep to use a thermometer or whatever. So they use these thing called seismic waves.
Okay.
I'm Bill Nye over here.
Shout out.
And so to see what lies below the surface. And so the seismic waves, they're like the waves that produced, or they're type of waves that produce like earthquakes and tectonic plate movements. But those aren't created by the core. They're created by the Earth's crust and part of the mantle. So that doesn't explain what lies beneath it. So another way that they do it is they say using advanced technology, scientists have been able to pinpoint the exact melting point of iron, which allows them to make educated guesses about the temperatures that must exist in Earth's inner and outer cores. So basically, a lot of science stuff, but if you're going to listen to anything, S waves can only go or reverberate, I don't even know what that means, through solid material. They can't make it through like liquidish stuff. So by mapping all the stuff, it turned out that rocks become liquid about 3,000 kilometers down. But Earth's center is 6,000 kilometers down. So they're just assuming that 3,000 kilometers down is the same thing as 6,000 kilometers down. So they're just assuming that it's just the same thing for the more deeper. That's why I think it's like, it's just everything we learn in school and stuff, it's just based on educated guesses of that it's just because they can't measure down that far. So, a lot of information, but
I'm out on this one.
I'm out too, but it's pretty interesting.
I mean, it's cool and all, but like
they're only they only measure to a certain point, and then they just think it's the deeper is the same.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
There's a ton of, I mean, obviously there's a lot of science behind this. Like, it's a pretty science-heavy, like, topic. And, I mean, science isn't necessarily my thing, but I have, like, enough, like, like, technology is so good now, and science is so, like, developed that there's just scientists are not going to be wrong in this situation.
Yeah. All right.
But
Yeah.
I'm calm, yes.
what's confusing me is like how the hollow Earth, if it was actually real, like the weight of the Earth would change, right? So like that would change.
Well, it's
our
measured
orbit.
around like magnets, or like magnetic fields. So magnetic, like magnetism or whatever, is actually stronger than gravity. So
Okay.
the top and the bottom just like rotate because magnetics. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, they say that the core is the size of Pluto. So they haven't like measured that. I guess they haven't gotten to that. I don't know. Kind of weird, but
Yeah.
Probably
I don't know,
a little.
I just think it's interesting how all of our knowledge is based on educated guesses.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
That's the main thing.
I mean, they're very educated guesses.
Oh, yeah. But they're not
it's-
certain.
They're not 100% certain because there's no like proof. But yeah, I don't know. Sorry, you probably clicked off. But most people probably clicked off because of the science stuff. But,
Yeah.
all right.
Bear with us.
Yeah, if you're still here, thank you. It's like what 25 minutes in. All right, Neil.
We got some good ones coming.
Yeah, we got some good ones.
Let's see what Neil's got.
That one wasn't. I've got some.
All right, guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got an Area 51.
Okay.
So pretty standard.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
we're getting into conspiracy theories. All right. So first thing I want to note, Area 51. Obviously, it's under 24-hour surveillance. Military, heavily guarded by the military.
Yep.
It's not accessible to the public. Satellite imagery around Area 51 was prohibited until 2018. So
They let it like happen again, or
yeah,
okay.
yeah, they let it happen again.
Huh.
And the only way to travel to is by unmarked airplanes permitted through airspace.
No cars or anything? Or
No.
Unless they're like military.
Yeah, unless they're
vehicles.
military based.
Huh.
So the one story I want to go over is about a man named Robert Lazar, who worked at Area 51, and he
Okay.
claimed he saw autopsies of aliens and let me see here. And they inspected, and the government inspecting a recovered alien spacecraft. So the sketchy thing here is that he was arrested for his involvement in a prostitution ring and the selling of drugs, like 5 or 6
Okay.
years later. But when his family was interviewed about it, they said he had they did not think he had any involvement in drug use or anything of the sort. So that's what makes it pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So I think he was framed by the government.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Did he
kinda buy
die,
in
or
there,
is
yeah.
he still?
He's in prison, I believe.
Oh, he's in
Yeah.
prison.
Robert Lazar.
Was that the guy? I know there was a guy on what do you call it? Impulsive. There's like a alien or some type of alien believer guy on there. Was that guy? No, it wasn't guy.
No,
Okay, never mind. That's Bob Lazar.
Yeah, Robert Bob.
Yeah.
I kind of
Huh,
I believe this one because
Really?
Area 51, like, I mean, I don't know, it's weird. The extreme like surveillance. I mean,
Yeah.
it could just be a military base. It easily could be that, but
There's
well,
hundreds of
does
other ones.
this guy like have proof that he actually worked there?
See, I couldn't
Yeah.
find any proof, but he went on this talk show, I believe.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I didn't find the name of it, but
I mean, when you look him up, it does say a lot of stuff about like UFO stuff, the Pentagon. He must have been involved in something.
Yeah.
But
yeah, absolutely.
I don't think, because like when I heard this other guy talking about working at Area 51, like you're not allowed to tell anybody anything.
Yeah.
So even your family members, and so they say like you have to sign something or where your life, you can't tell anybody or else they have the right to like hurt you
Yeah.
or whatever. So
And
don't know.
what was I gonna say?
that's a famous but weird one.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, I kind of buy into it. Just like there's
They have to
still
be hiding
nothing
something.
known.
yeah.
If they're guarding it, they have to be hiding something.
Yeah,
Well, what about
unless
the
they
other-
they might want to keep it as a safe place to hide like stuff if they need to. But like this Bob dude could just be going out on a limb and just making some like claims
For
like this.
attention. Yeah.
But then at the
But
same
then he
time,
went to jail
Yeah.
and like
For something he wasn't involved in based on his family.
Yeah, but like if he wanted attention, I don't think he would want to get that much attention to go to jail.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Back to like oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Back to the guarding thing. So Area 51 used to be the development of like planes like the Black Hawk and stuff, like special military planes. Yeah. But that stopped, right?
When did that stop? Or do you know?
After World War II, I believe.
Okay.
Someone fact check me. But yeah, so that what I'm saying is that they have no real reason to guard it as heavily anymore because there's not many secret weapons being developed. You know?
Yeah. I guess. I'm just wondering, like, why Area 51? You know, that's what I've always wondered. Is like, what about Area 50 or 49? You know,
I don't know.
It's like
it could be a hot spot.
So I know, like, their Area 51, like it's a wide open space, so that's why they probably used it for all those planes and stuff. And obviously, they wouldn't just move it somewhere else. But like, if there was something going on there, you know, alien stuff, I feel like that wouldn't just be the only place. I feel like it would have to be other places too. Or is it that big?
Probably.
It's big. I mean, I feel like they'd want to concentrate in one area so they don't have to protect multiple places.
Yeah. But I feel like maybe other countries have stuff too. You know, it's not just the U.S. You know, so, somewhere else could have those stuff or feel the need to have those stuff. Russia or, you know, somebody else. But
maybe they just made a pact, like the UN. They're just like, don't disclose it to the public.
See, like you looked up Area 50 and there's nothing that really comes up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they just named Area 51 just because of some, I don't know, some specific reason. Like
maybe
I doubt
it's like the mild,
50, but
something. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm intrigued by it, and I hope someday like people will figure it out. But I don't think it's gonna happen, just because I mean the U.S. government has a pretty tight grip on it. So
I just want to know. I know about all this stuff.
If I could know what one place is really like on the inside, I feel like it might. I mean, there's a great chance to be a disappointment. There's terrible stuff in there, but like nothing interesting. Yeah. But
I think there's definitely, if it's not alien stuff, I definitely think there's advanced technology.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
big
like
time.
Probably.
It's not
big time.
You know.
Yeah.
So, but again, like I've seen, you know, you watch these movies and they keep it secret because if they don't, certain things could just the world would just go nuts if they had something, you know, if they knew the end of the world was coming, if they had proof of aliens, like, you know how crazy the world would just erupt, especially with the internet and everything now.
Oh yeah, it'd
like,
get by fast.
It would just, yeah. It's good and bad that they keep it secret if there's something.
Yeah.
So.
I just wonder how you get a gig in there. Like, how do you land a job at Area 51?
Oh yeah.
I think you have to work your way up. So first you start.
But still, dude, there's just no way they entrust people. Like,
oh no,
there's probably some. I mean, it's probably passed down generation to
something like that. Yeah.
Or like, there's some crazy way that you get approved for a job in there. You can't just
Illuminati.
Well, like the scientists have to be the top of their things, and then they have to dedicate their life basically to it. I mean, I've heard it's almost like, you know how like the judges at the Supreme Court?
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I've heard it's something like that, where, you know, you can't say anything about it, and
I can see that.
They're obviously hiding something. That's all I know.
I've never heard of any employee at Area 51 other than this Bob dude. Like, I've never like
you don't know names or anything. Yeah.
They don't really like.
He's the only one I believe that spoke out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, what if like it's just like an old employee, they're retired, but they're on their deathbed, and they're like, by the way, this is what's Area 51. Like, they just reveal it right when they're about to die, so they don't face any repercussions.
What if the government just says, "I'm going to go after your family," then instead? You know,
there's no way.
No, I don't know. If you sign the thing and you do that, I mean, but then again, like, if one person, you know, says there's aliens and stuff and this big thing, like, people aren't going to believe that. I don't think, right?
They'll be.
I don't know.
I mean,
depends on the proof.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Like Alzheimer's, then yeah, I'm not believing it. But
yeah, because
like, it'd be interesting.
Like, family members would believe it, but then when they tell other people, and the further it gets down to other people, you know, I feel like it would lose the.
Yeah, but if it just gets like on national news, like right when the dude dies.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna go brazy.
But I feel like then they would. Well,
brazy
is the.
It would.
Does the government control the media? They don't control the media, do they? They probably do.
Well,
Yeah, they have to.
they got a hand in it.
Because I was going to say they would just shut it down right then.
I'm a firm believer that the U.S. government censors a bunch of things.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. But it's part of that's their job. To keep...
Well, it's a democracy.
Yeah, exactly.
Freedom.
It just goes against everything
know,
that
but
we're taught.
Some stuff would... I feel like some stuff would just
definitely
corrupt
harm
society.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So,
But I think the human race deserves to know.
Yeah.
We're living on this planet too, so.
Speech, Neil.
Yeah.
New MLK over here.
Thank you.
Gandhi.
For the U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
We the people, man.
We the people. U.S. isn't looking so hot right now, but...
Yeah, it's a little bit down. There's some turmoil, but might not be the best time to drop some Area 51.
We're trying to unite everybody here.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah, maybe Area 51 just has world hunger in it, and they're just...
What?
Speaking of which, I think that people have found, like, there's a person who's supposed to have found a water-powered car, and he died.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Someone, like, cured some form of cancer, got killed after it.
Yeah.
Like, there's people who have found solutions to problems that make the government and, like, big
businesses.
pharma
Yeah.
a ton of money, and then they die mysteriously. Like, Jeffrey Epstein,
Gas.
everyone knows he didn't kill himself.
Yeah.
There's no shot he killed himself.
Come on.
Like, that is something I know for a fact that people have found, like, some solutions to these big problems. And
Yeah.
they get
I
killed
saw
by
a thing about the
government for it.
cancer where somebody had made it, but then they wouldn't. The government wanted to sell it instead of give it. And
Exactly.
if they wouldn't do that, then because they want the money, right?
Yeah.
U.S. is in major debt, and it's not. I mean, not just the U.S., but
Every country.
Every country's in debt, yeah. But, like, it's crazy.
yeah. All right, you wanna take one?
Number 2, okay. All right, my
more,
second
more
one.
creepy or less creepy? Because that one, I don't know if that one can be topped.
This one's
Not
freaks
yours,
me out
but
a ton.
Yeah.
This
It was
one-
creepy.
These
It
are
was
my
creepy.
top. Second one, top 2 I'm doing are probably my two like all time. Like, I've watched a lot of, like, mysterious disappearances and, like, crime and stuff like that, and these are probably one of my top 2
Okay.
freak out ones. This one has probably even more security footage. So this guy's name's Lars Mittank. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'll just call him, like, Lars. But he's a German dude. And
Lars.
he disappeared in 2014. He's vacationing with some of his buddies in Bulgaria.
Okay.
And so he was they're having a good time, and then they're at a bar one night, and he got into a bar fight. And so he was hurt pretty bad from it. He ruptured eardrum and had some other injured jaw and a ruptured eardrum. And so he wasn't able to fly home with the rest of his friends when they left. And so his friends were like, "We'll just stay with you so we can all go home together and make sure everyone's good." And he's like, "No, I'll be fine." And then as soon as they leave, he starts acting super strange. Like, I think some of the hotel employees were like reporting how weird he was acting.
Yeah.
So he wasn't flying home. He was in Bulgaria all by himself. And he also, I don't want to spoil big part of it yet, but while he's still by himself, he calls his mom as he's acting super weird, and he starts whispering to her. He's like, 4 men are coming to kill me. And she told him to cancel his credit cards just out of the blue. So obviously,
his mom told him that? Or
no. He called his mom and told her that.
Okay.
So he's freaking out while he's in this foreign country all by himself. And so he's acting super paranoid and frightened. And then eventually, it's time for him to actually fly home. So he on July 6th, 2014, that was when he got in the fight, sorry. But eventually, he finally gets his plane ticket to go back home. And he is going to the airport. And you see him walk in. You can see him, the security footage, the whole way. Walks into the airport, heads over to the airport doctor. So I'm assuming he's talking to him about the injury.
Okay.
And so their conversation with the doctor gets interrupted. So he's just standing there. You can see this on security footage the whole way. It's extremely, like, scary. Yeah. And he just all of a sudden he drops his bags and sprints out of the airport, all on cameras, a dead sprint. And the cameras are tracking him the whole way. You see him run outside of the terminal. He's still going. And these security cameras, since they're at an airport, they obviously were super high quality, so they zoom in for miles. And he dead sprints for like 5 straight miles
I think I've heard of
all
this.
the way around from the airport, and you can just see him slowly disappearing as he gets further and further away. And to this day, there's never been a single part of him found. No body's been found.
What?
No one knows what happened to him. Not even any suspects in custody. He's just been gone after running for miles straight out of the airport.
Do you have any?
What was the thing you didn't want to spoil?
Just like the part of him finally running away. Like I was gonna kind of segue into it, but I just kept talking about.
What's your preference, or what do you think is his reasoning? Do you have any idea of?
I mean,
what would...
I definitely think he got prescribed some medicine when he had like the ruptured eardrum, so like he could have been like weird off that, but
no, there's no way.
That's
not something like
so
that.
weird. You don't go psycho after being a
yeah.
normal dude on normal vacation. And it says you could see him climbing a fence as he's sprinting and just like
you would have to be pumped.
I mean,
with something to do that.
Yeah,
he's
like not medication.
Freaked out. So
that's.
I mean, there's no part of him ever found. Like, how can you even make a good guess on what this is?
Sus.
And they're
Absolutely sus.
There's still a missing person case out there for him. So definitely sus, all caps, no cap.
No cap.
So yeah, that one freaked me out. I mean, if you guys, for the first two I've talked about, if you guys go watch the security footage on him, it's gonna make you like believe it way more and just be like freaked out more. I mean,
So when
it's not as good as when I'm explaining it.
When does his behavior start changing?
Like probably the day after his friends left on themselves, which is like as soon as he was in this country by himself, he starts tweaking out.
But why him?
Like why?
What do you mean,
why him?
Why was he targeted by 4 dudes?
Exactly. He probably wasn't. But like, you just don't know. He just goes psycho within the span of 12 hours. Like he wakes up one day and he's just freaking out. Like how does that just happen?
No idea.
A shell of himself. Definitely a targeted man. I don't know.
I don't know, dude.
That's
5
weird.
miles.
He gunned it.
Huh.
So.
All right.
But why would he leave?
Check out the footage on it.
Why would he leave the airport?
I don't understand. He had a ticket and everything.
Yeah, he was about to go home free.
Exactly. I don't know. I mean, he was like, it's almost like schizophrenic behavior. Like you think.
Oh yeah.
You're being followed
not to
and stuff.
that extent. Like that's.
It's
that
pretty
doesn't
ridiculous.
explain it.
So yeah, go check out both those footages. They're pretty crazy.
All right. Well, my last one. Sorry guys. I don't know if we'll have time for the rest of them.
All right.
We've got to keep it under an hour. But this one, this is one of my best ones right here, I think.
Okay.
I saw a little bit on this TikTok of these other guys on the podcast, and I decided to dive a little bit deeper into it. This is the Titanic theory. So yeah, okay. So most people think like they come up with these conspiracy theories about how the Titanic sank and why it sank and maybe it didn't sink or and lots of people say there are signs of bad luck for all the passengers or that the Titanic never sank. I don't believe that, but actually, well, you'll see. So I came across that clip of the podcast, and so I decided, I'll look into this a little bit more. And the Titanic crashed and killed 1,517 people of the 2,223 passengers, including millionaires Jacob Astor, Isidor Straus, and Benjamin Guggenheim. I don't know. Hopefully
pretty dope names.
Anyways, all 3 of those men were competitors of they were the top competitors of JP Morgan.
I've heard about this.
So they opposed the creation of the Federal Reserve. They were largely negative impacts on JP Morgan's business. Now Morgan knew that they would be on the Titanic. He himself actually had a ticket to climb aboard, but minutes before it took off, he changed his mind. Nobody knows why, but he just didn't go on it. So you might be like, okay, it still doesn't make sense why Morgan would kill all those innocent people. And, if he purposely crashed it, the captain would have been in on it and he would have just sacrificed himself. Like, no. Mm-mm. So the thing that makes it somewhat believable is actually the Titanic never sank.
Okay.
So it didn't miss the iceberg or whatever, but it never sailed in the first place. So most people believe there's another ship called the Olympic. Okay. Which was very similar to the Titanic. I mean, I'm talking it's 3 inches shorter, and it's the exact same replica. Same model. And it was damaged while sailing about 7 months before the Titanic. Then the Olympic returned to Belfast in the United Kingdom a few weeks before the Titanic set sail. that's where the Titanic was.
Oh.
Keep in mind that the main purpose of the Titanic and the Olympic and all these big ships wasn't for show. It's not to be cool. It was simply for money. I mean, these rich people paid to be on these giant boats. And so it's said that the businessmen found the Olympic to be too damaged for profit. So they switched the Titanic and the Olympic, simply painted the Titanic's name on the Olympic, and ditched the damaged ship to receive all the insurance money and kill some people in the process. So the Olympic was 3 inches smaller. Its number was 401. The Titanic's was 400, so it could have easily been changed. I thought this was a little weird too. The Olympic actually crashed later, or maybe it was the Titanic. Maybe they switched it. And 1,517 people died on the Titanic. 1,514 people died on the Olympic. So it was really close. Okay. And I think J.P. Morgan found out that they were going to be switched. And they said it took 5 minutes for the Titanic to sink. 5 minutes for that entire ship. I believe it should have been broken a little bit beforehand. Like, there's no way that entire ship would have just sunk in 5 minutes if it wasn't broken just a little bit beforehand. That's the thing that makes me a little suspicious about that.
I'm very on board with this.
Yeah, I'm kind of messing with it. I mean, like, it lines up. I'd have to
there's nothing
look into it more, but
if the businessmen were that serious about making that money, they gained a huge profit off of that.
No, J.P. Morgan was a powerful man, one of the richest in the world at the time. So he definitely had the resources to pull something off like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know if he pulled it off. Because he wasn't the owner of the Titanic and Olympic.
I feel like he had...
but people believe he had a hand in it.
Yeah, I think he did, because of his competitors.
He benefited. I mean, then his business took off after that. So...
Yeah, there's like robber barons back in the day that do anything to propel their business.
If they were that serious about making the money, they wouldn't care about those people. So,
shout out Made in America, Miss Barch.
One of the
Made in America
shows.
Yeah. That was insane.
Carried 8th grade social studies.
Yeah.
Intro music hits different.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That documentary was insane. But yeah. Anyways, pretty crazy one.
Mm-hmm.
I think the most believable out of the ones that I came here with today.
Yeah, because both the ships sank. So
they did.
So
they did. The Olympic was or whichever one was just a couple years after.
3 inches shorter, almost the same amount of casualties.
One more passenger than the Titanic.
Yeah, so it lines up. To me,
at least. They were basically identical.
Yeah.
So why not switch them? I wouldn't want them to switch them, but I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah. Who knows? Let's hit your last one, or whoever wants to.
All right. This one is Steph Curry approved. He believes in this. So
Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Okay.
He believes that the moon landing was faked.
Okay.
I
saw the Mythbusters thing or whatever, where they filmed it, they filmed it. So, what's your proof?
So, first of all, you gotta know that the U.S. was definitely desperate to fire something off to the moon
because of Russia.
Russia, the space race.
Yeah.
So they did have a clear motive for doing it. And then the main proof I want to talk about is you can actually see footage of Buzz Aldrin planting the U.S. flag onto the moon and it waving. And scientists have studied that, and they've proved that's impossible because the moon is a vacuum and there's no wind that's able to, be on the moon.
So you mean like when the flag
waved.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah. If you want to look it up.
Does it actually wave back and forth? Or?
It's not supposed to.
But it does? Like in the footage?
Yeah.
Wow. That's the one. I mean, there's definitely lots of proof against this, but
yeah, absolutely.
But that's the thing that stands out the most to me.
And then also take into account it is NASA, so they did have many resources, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And then there's this similar man, Stanley Kubrick, who was a filmmaker, and he designed a similar type of space setting at the time. So that shows it could be done during the time of when it was
fabricated. I got a question though.
Yeah.
What about the launch? Because the launch was real.
Whew.
That's when most people. Yeah.
I mean, you can. No, I mean, if you're trying to make that case, then you could just be like,
They just sent something.
sent
Yeah.
off, and then
It
let it orbit for a little bit, and then
It
go
is
back
like
down.
millions of dollars though.
Well,
The U.S. government doesn't care.
the amount of value they'd place
Yeah,
on.
I guess
on
if they didn't care, then
the
they
one
could
up
just-
on Russia.
I mean, I guess if nobody saw them, nobody saw anybody get into the space,
space
shuttle, they
race.
could just launch a decoy or whatever. And,
Communism versus capitalism, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Huge impact
I mean, I don't think
on
it was
American
fake,
society.
but-
yeah, me
You know.
neither. But the flag thing.
Yeah, the flag
As far
thing.
as science, like it shouldn't be able to like
see,
wave, right?
some people say it could be caused by inertia.
Okay.
When he planted
When he
it
planted it,
Pause. Sus.
huh?
My hand.
I didn't even pick up on it.
But it waved a lot for that too. It waved, like, scientists have talked about how it's waved he put too little force for it to wave as much as it did.
Did it continue to wave, or
Yeah, it
how
waved-
long did it? I mean, I know
not
you
that
don't
long.
know that, but
Not that long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
that's the part that gets me just a little bit.
No, but it doesn't stop there.
Oh,
There's
you
one
got
more. There's one more
Ooh,
thing I want
okay.
to talk about. 3 astronauts were supposedly killed during the equipment testing in a fire.
Really?
In a fire.
Okay.
And some say that the government killed them in fear of them leaking the truth.
Okay. I don't know about that. I mean, in a fire, there's some powerful stuff with that space shuttle stuff. So
Yeah.
I could see that. But where astronauts or crew members,
Astronauts.
that makes it a little bit more, because
Who are
I would
pretty-
believe crew members definitely a
Yeah.
lot more, or engineers or whoever was helping out. But I did see footage of Buzz Aldrin right as he got off of, or not like right, but after he got off the space shuttle and he was going back into whatever building. There was a guy that was like, "Did you actually go?" And then he like punched the guy.
No way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
There's
I've
like
seen it.
there's like
Yeah,
a video
it's a
of
real
him like
video.
punching.
No, the guy said like it's fake, and then he punched him. And
So he's pretty.
So if he was in on it, he could have
Yeah.
gotten overreacted to that. But I don't know.
There's definitely more proof that goes against it, but under the
Yeah.
circumstances, anything could have happened.
Very slim, possible. Very slim.
I like believing in it. It's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not a firm believer.
But
though.
I mean, it's like doesn't really matter too much though, because now we do have people in space,
Yeah.
like that have definitely been on the moon now.
Yeah.
So
But I feel like the
I don't know.
timing
the time, yeah,
to beat Russia.
to beat Russia, yeah. The motive's there. The
Yeah.
motive's there. So I don't know. The thankfully, like the camera equipment back then was matched the bad of the. It wasn't
Yeah.
that great, so they could
Yeah.
have easily. With nowadays, they would have to make it look so real in order to do that. But I don't know. Huh. All right, we're 52 minutes in. Do you think you have time, or
I can shorten it up if you want.
yeah?
I mean, this
Yeah.
one's like, this one's just kind of weird to me. It's another crime one.
Okay.
This one kind of had like an actual ending to it. So, this is in 2014, so it's pretty recent also. So this kid named Charles Bothwell, it became a super controversial case. Is in Detroit, Michigan, and essentially he was found imprisoned in the basement of his own house,
In prison?
while his father was doing a interview with Fox News.
Oh,
So
I've seen memes about this. I think.
the father is
Yeah.
on with Nancy Grace on her show, talking to her, and she goes, your son was just found in the basement of your own home.
Yeah.
And he goes, and he starts freaking out. He's like, "What?" And he starts crying, and he can't believe it.
Yeah.
But his kid was in his own house in the basement, and he's sitting behind boxes. So it's super crazy. He eventually was he pled guilty to 4th-degree child abuse in a plea deal, along with his wife, who was the kid's stepmother. But basically the kid didn't even make noise when the police were searching his house the first times. Like, this wasn't the first time when they finally found him. They had been in his house before looking for him, and he didn't make any noises and just remained hidden. And his explanation was, I didn't know what would happen if I was found. He didn't think anybody would believe him. And so it's kind of weird that he was inches away from being found, and he just sits there. So I don't know. It's and he's also forced to do an extreme exercise regimen. He was only given protein shakes and dry cereal. So really weird case. And I mean, they found out obviously it was child abuse, but the kid didn't speak up at all, and I don't know. I did see
a TV show though that it was similar to this.
Okay, that's why I'd probably.
I
just keep going.
Okay, but the child like didn't speak up or anything because the mom or dad or whoever it was threatened them to hurt them even more.
Yeah,
if they didn't. But I don't know.
Bad parents.
A little odd, but yeah, that one's strange.
Creepy story.
I mean,
George.
not like the first one still got me. Sorry.
Oh, the first one's the best.
Yeah, wait till you watch the footage on it. It's pretty good.
I guess I will. I don't even know if I want to. All right. Well, we got a segment at the end. Usually it's at the beginning, but pose a question. Probably our now our most famous segment. We do it every episode. This one is, out of all the conspiracies that we have listened to each other say, which has seemed the most believable in your guys' opinion?
Well, obviously the last one's not really a conspiracy.
Yeah,
because you got
yeah.
I mean, you can take mine out of it because they're not necessarily conspiracy theories. Like,
okay, maybe the first
one, two, you can't even really. I mean, you can guess.
I like my Denver airport one.
Yeah.
I mean, I think maybe the New World Order Illuminati part of it's a little far fetched, but I think other than that, there's something going on there.
Yeah.
I'd go with Area 51. Kind of sold on it. I've been interested in it like most of my life, so like still like no answers. I mean,
raid Area 51
for decades.
That didn't go well.
Yeah, that did not.
That's probably my pick.
I like the Titanic one, but
the Titanic. Oh, I gotta change mine. I like that one.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah. Both ships, like JP Morgan.
It's convincing.
That's my favorite one.
All right, well, if anybody is still watching or listening, thank you for watching or listening. Make sure you subscribe because we're doing this for free right now. We're not getting paid, and I've spent lots of money on this, so you could say I'm not in debt, but I guess I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. We got a good episode. Got a good guest on. Thank you for Neil coming on. Can we give a round of applause for Neil? Yes, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. Anytime. So, thank you guys for watching again. See you next week.